September 2021. So again, we'll work off the agenda. And if anybody has any questions before we get started. Alrighty, so first agenda item is a field use request from Upper Dublin Youth Football, their program there. So they made a request due to severe storm damage to their practice and game facilities. So the modification to the district fee schedule was also requested. So currently they would fall under class 3, which equates to $240 per event. So the administration, seeing that they're in trouble there, we're recommending a $50 per event fee. This is not to exceed 6 weeks. So they'd be using the old field behind the old Enfield school. And they also were looking to use some of the middle school fields. But I think Miss Davis, Lauren Davis, is she's working, she's the representative, and she indicated to me that one of the fields in Upper Dublin is possibly going to be ready for them. So it would be just the fields behind the old school. Currently, St. Jen's uses our football field at the middle school at nights and on most weekends. So there would be a little bit of conflict getting them in to the middle school site. But we are offering them the back of the old school, again, $50 per event instead of the class 3, $240 per event.
May I chime in? As always, sorry. I would honestly, I think $50 is immaterial, and I think they have a lot of problems just based on the damage the hurricane did. I don't know that in this case I would necessarily care about the $50. That would be my personal take on it.
Okay.
Mr. Thorne, what is the 54?
It's for the actual field use. If we generally have to maintain the fields after these user groups use it, actually cutting the grass, aerating, seeding, things of that nature. So those fees go for preventive maintenance and field upkeep. If there was custodial fees, if they were inside a building using bathrooms, they would be charged an out-of-pocket fee as well.
Thank you. The only reason I'm asking, I think Mr. Lapidus raises a great point. I don't have any problem with the 50. I also, frankly, wouldn't have any problem if we just kind of went easy on them in terms of collecting. It's obviously they're struggling greatly now, so I think whatever help we can provide, we should. And whatever you recommend is I'm on board with.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. I just want to make everybody aware that when we don't charge one group and another group finds out about it, they always, sometimes we open up a can of worms by trying to be neighborly to one group. Another group or so finds out, and they all want that same, no fee. So, but I have no problems with whatever you guys direct.
My only thing is that I would hope that if, God forbid, something like this happened to us, we would be in the category where either Upper Dublin or any of our surrounding districts would welcome us and not make us necessarily pay. I think I would kind of apply this if something happened to Hadborough Horsham that was this type of a disaster. We would do the same thing and not waive fees. I don't think anyone could use that as a way to get free fields if they just need to use a field. That's my comment.
We do have the board motion written that it is due to the extraordinary circumstances as a result of the storms on September 1st. The fee amount was based on an inquiry to that group, to the Upper Dublin group, as to what would they have been paying Upper Dublin for the use of those fields. Now, in fairness, that was $40 per night for a 3-hour window. So right now they're asking us for 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. And so we set $50. We could certainly reduce that and have it be exactly what they would be paying Upper Dublin. So they're at exactly what they would typically be budgeting. Or if you wanted to provide it as essentially a gift, we could offer no fee at all and just use the fields until their fields are ready for use, and essentially offer a savings to the association in the midst of what they're going through as a community. So it's really entirely up to you. The $50 was simply for field maintenance, because obviously our departments would maintain those fields both before and after practices to make sure they're playable and safe for the duration of their usage. Because right now, no one's using them within the township. So there is some readiness that Mr. Thorne would need in order to get us going on those fields.
I support us donating the fields to them. I think that by not charging the fee, they can pass that savings on to their families that are playing, and it just sort of will trickle down to help the community in general. And I do think that this is an unusual circumstance. So I would be comfortable waiving the fees as well.
Okay. So is that the case for all? I think I heard that from all three of you. You'd like us to waive the fees?
I'm comfortable with that.
Yes.
Okay. So we will, Mr. Thorne will amend that board motion for tonight.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. So second agenda. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, Mr. Thorne, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to mention, I think the point you raise about waiver and what happens next time is a really good one. And I do think we should at least either include that in the motion or at least say something on Tuesday at the meeting that, as you said, Dr. Yannicone, due to extraordinary circumstances and the fact that this is a disaster, this is why we've done it in this case. But we don't, but this is, I hate to sound like that awful Supreme Court, but this is just a one-time deal, essentially.
Yes, understood. And whomever among the three of you, I think it's you, Mr. Needleman, whoever is going to be providing the summary report at
Sure.
the board meeting tomorrow night could also make mention of that.
That's fine. I'm happy
Yep.
to do it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Excuse me. Our next agenda item is custodial services agreement. So Interstate Maintenance Corporation, excuse me, provides all our custodial services for the district. So they have requested a fee increase from us due to difficulties in recruiting and retaining staff to fulfill their contractual obligations to the district. So currently, we're in the first year of a 3-year deal. It's an agreement with a 1% increase per year. The increase that they're asking for is basically $1.30 more per hour per employee, which is 26 employees, or it's $5,566 per month additional. So this annual would be $66,792 increase annually. I'm not sure how long this would be in effect for. Again, they're just really having trouble finding staff. I'm sure everyone is aware of, everybody's, a lot of their competitors are paying $15, $16 an hour, where they're at $12, $13, even $11 for some of their employees. So currently we pay $80,502 a month, and it's annually is $966,028 annually. And again, this is the first year of a 3-year agreement. So I did meet with their representatives. They did explain to me, what their need was, the fact that they can't hire employees, competitively with people around them paying more money. So I did bring this to Ms. Michaels. We did discuss it. Interstate did send over an amendment, that proposal for the additional $5,566 a month. So we're reviewing it. We'll meet with them again. We're not asking for a board motion or anything right now. We just wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. So again, we'll be discussing that further with Interstate Maintenance Corps.
Are we happy with their service?
Yes, yes. Since I've been here, since 2012, we've had a few different custodial services, and this is by far the best one that I've dealt with. There's always going to be issues with outsourced custodial staff, but they're very responsive. They remedy things really quickly. Again, the biggest issue is just proper staff. They get the supervisors in here to fill in for people that are out. Some nights 3 and 4 employees will be out, and they have to pitch in. They're the ones that are, mopping the floors and cleaning the toilets and everything. So they're not perfect, but I am very satisfied with them.
I don't have a problem, with the increase to have a competitive wage for the workers. I think that that's a good thing to do. I just want to make sure that we can get proof that that money is actually being put toward the salaries.
Yes. Okay. Very good point. Yep. Absolutely. I suggested sort of a scaled approach as well. Right now, they're not going to get everybody up to speed with that $1.30 more an hour, but if they're bringing on employees, so instead of being, say, the $5,566 a month, that it's scaled the first month, second month, maybe say half of that or a third of that. And then we move up as everybody's pay scale increases. So they're the conversations we'll still have with Interstate. But I just want to make everybody aware that they have come to us asking for help. Just so everybody is aware, contractually, both us as well as Interstate have the ability to terminate this contract with 30 days written notice. So if we weren't happy with them, we could terminate. But if they can't get the employees, they actually have the right per the contract to give us a 30-day notice and terminate their services. So we're definitely don't want to get involved with that, especially starting a new school year. Again,
Especially not in a time of COVID.
Yeah. So we recognize their challenge. We want to be fair to them, but also fiscally prudent to the school district. So again, we're really not asking for a motion at this time. Just letting you know that we're going to be negotiating with them.
Can I? Sorry, put my 2 cents in. So the way I look at it is, what is our option B? Let's say if we say no to them, and first of all, just from my own experience, it is virtually impossible to find people to work. It's really a problem, at least here on the East Coast. But if we say no and they terminate, are we going to be able to replace someone at the same cost? I doubt it. My guess is we'll pay a lot more with an unknown entity. So I would say I don't know what there is to deliberate or negotiate with them, because we don't have a plan B that's as good or better than what they're asking for.
If I may interject just for a quick second on going back to them a little bit. I get that there's a 30-day. I have to fully vet the contract because I want to take a look at that as well. But my concern is if we just hand over additional funds, and I've seen the way that the addendum's been written, there's no guarantee that they can hire people at the higher cost. So that I want to make sure that we're protected in that way, that we're just not increasing a contract without guarantee. So what happens if we increase the per monthly cost and they still can't find people? We're now out money and we're still in the same position that we were in at the beginning of this. So that's my due diligence that I just want to make sure that when Craig and I meet with them again, that we're protected on that end, that we're just not paying more money and still in the same situation. That's my biggest concern.
And I'll, jump in as well. Thanks, Kara, for that. I think the other thing that we're wondering about is that the federal benefits just expired last week. And so, like many companies, we are hopeful that as people lose those benefits, they will again go out and seek employment. And so we're hoping that we might find workers in the next few weeks that maybe were not in the market in the last few weeks. But that said, we want to, as Gretchen said, we want to make sure we're paying a living wage. We're very, we are supportive of that. We want to make sure we have good people and we're getting great service, especially in a time of COVID. We want to make sure the buildings are clean and sanitized appropriately. We wanted to bring this to you now as a discussion point, not as a motion, because as Kara indicated, we're still working to negotiate with them to make sure the district's interests are protected. But we wanted to get a sense of where you would be if we were to bring you a motion for an increased cost within the, we're in the contract. So this would be an addendum to the contract, and we wanted to know whether you had strong feelings one way or another, or you were open to us moving with an addendum in the future if we were bringing that to you perhaps in a month, down the road.
Open.
Because this is, cleaning and sanitizing, is there any use of funding, additional funding that we've gotten from pandemic, like the money that we put towards PPE and all of that to cover some of that additional cost?
We would be able to supplement with that for the term in which we had the money. The issue would be looking forward. If we're doing addendum to the contract, we're talking about future money afterwards, because then the contract is a 1% on top of that each year. So while we'd be able to supplement using some of the funding that we have, this most definitely would be an eligible cost. The issue would be going into the next term of the contract, because we've already put the money on top of the contract. So that's the part that we'll hammer out. And like Dr. Yannicone said, we'll do our due diligence to ensure, especially in light of the fact that this is about cleaning the buildings and keeping everybody safe.
Ms. Michaels, I'm sorry, I just had a question. You just mentioned a 1% increase. Does the contract step up every year? Is there a 1% increase built in?
Yes, 1% each year.
Okay. Right. Okay. Understood. Thanks.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll keep you apprised when we have more information. We'll bring it back to you. Mr. Thorne, you want to go with the next item?
Yes, thank you, everyone. Okay, so storm damage to our turf fields and our bus garage. So after the Storm Ida, the synthetic turf fields have been maintained, rolled, and groomed by our grounds crew. So they are playable. They're currently playable, but they actually need to be restretched and re-adhered to the perimeters of the field surface there. So the company that installed the fields, Field Turf Company, they had, I think they were 15, 20 fields that all rose with all the flood water and got wrinkled. So we're on a waiting list for them to come out and re-stretch the fields and re-adhere them properly. Again, they are playable, they are safe. So we're hoping that they're going to come out this week, actually, on this waiting list to come properly fix the fields. We've also investigated why they blow up so much. Our construction management team, the civil engineer, we all met on site after the storm. We did some remedies specifically on the multi-purpose field. We put vented manholes in, basically, so the air is not pushing up under the field and blowing it up like a moon bounce. It's actually coming out of these vented manholes and really helping us with that field lifting up. So that was really good. They have some other ideas on how to remedy this as well. So we're still working with them. So our bus garage office area got flooded for the second time. Actually, there was a storm, I think it was July 21st, that the floodwaters came over the pond down at the bus garage and literally went up into the offices of the transportation building. So the second time with Ida, we brought in our environmental consultant to look at the offices the last time. This time there was a little bit of more storm damage down there, more floodwaters. So they're actually coming today, as a matter of fact, to do indoor air quality testing and evaluate the need to possibly cut the bottom half of the drywall off all around the offices in case it is moldy and everything inside, as well as replace any of the carpeting, the flooring down there. So they really got hit hard with these two storms. So our insurance carrier has been notified of all these, the field damage, any trees that came down, fence repair, anything down the bus garage. And we're also tracking FEMA expenses for reimbursement, hopefully down the line if that comes our way. So we got the insurance involved. We're tracking all the costs for FEMA reimbursement. So hopefully we won't have any more storms this year. So,
Let's hope.
Yeah. All righty. So stormwater damage mitigation for the future is the next agenda item. So after Ida, I reached out to the township manager. We spoke about stormwater, how the township stormwater is negatively impacting our stadium as well as the bus garage. So they're aware of it. It's been an ongoing situation, especially at the stadium, since basically their new facilities were built. And we're really getting inundated on our stadium field. Obviously, it's causing damage. So the township manager, as well as their township engineer, we're all going to meet hopefully sometime this week and discuss strategies to prevent this water from coming down in the stadium. The bus garage is probably a larger problem to fix. I think everybody's aware, the water comes down the little stream and just floods the pond. So, but, we want to see what their plan is to help us out in the future. I don't think it's right. It's their stormwater. I think they need to get a handle on it and at least tell us what their plans are for moving forward. I know they keep referencing specifically on Paper Mill Road that it is a PennDOT highway. And, if we have to get PennDOT involved, it just makes the process that much longer, that much more involved. But they're the things that I'm working on with the township, with their engineer. And we'll be, meeting hopefully this week. So, all righty. So our last agenda item is the first day opening of schools and some of the safety drills we've been doing. So we had an excellent first day, first week for the district's returning students and staff. So it was great to see the enthusiasm, on the students' faces as they came back to our in-person learning on our campuses. So it was really great. Even the staff members were really excited. So the first week, Enfield, Erdenheim Middle School, we all practiced fire drills, lockdown drills, off-site evacuation, shelter-in-place drills. So we hit the ground running with all our safety drills. The high school will be doing it in the next upcoming days with their safety drills. So, it was a great first week. I don't know, Dr. Yannicone, if you wanted to expand on that.
No, I agree. I think that the entire administrative team, the faculty, and quite frankly, the students are doing a great job. We had one unfortunate incident of vandalism at the high school last Friday. Apparently there is a TikTok challenge, which unfortunately some of our students were taking advantage of. Dr. Rittenhouse is getting a handle on it. But other than that, we've had a very strong start to the school year. Is there anything else? Yeah, that's our entire agenda. Is there anything else that the board would like us to be thinking about looking into our next property meeting, which would likely be, in the second quarter?
So I excuse me. I just want to thank Mr. Thorne because with all this weather stuff, it is not an easy job. You think he lays back in his office, smokes a cigar if it's appropriate, and then kind of just watches soap operas. But I really appreciate all of his work and not just him. I guess all of his staff and all of you guys. And it's wonderful how we went from just preparing for the first day of school to what it sounds like is preparing for war with the evacuation drills, the marching and all that. That's great. But thank you, all of you guys, for doing this. This is not an easy time of, I would say year, but not an easy time in general.
Thank you, Walter. I appreciate that.
I'd like to add on to that because that board meeting that we had when we were getting live video of the fields underwater, and then we had a home football game that Friday, I was very impressed. So
Thank you.
I know how much work that was to make that happen.
Yeah, and I, unfortunately, the night of the storm, I was here till 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I realized I couldn't get home. I couldn't physically leave Springfield because all the roads were flooded. So it was quite the experience sleeping in my office on the concrete floor that night.
Yes. Craig, your dedication is, I think, evident in the way the campus looks all the time, but in particular in these emergency situations.
Thank you.
I'm
Yep.
going to hope that we're going to have a mild winter.
That's right.
But we'll, continue to work to build up the maintenance department so that our guys are doing a great job and that they have what they need to be able to do the job well.
Get some blow up mattresses.
Yeah.
It sounds like we need a futon.
Yeah, the cots. I was
Awesome.
thinking of the cots.
Well, and thankfully next week we'll welcome Steve Chinta to our team. Craig has also been without his assistant, Joe Coughlin, for the last month.
Yeah.
So he'll have his full staff once again in about a week. So that'll be much needed. And I don't think, Walter, that Mr. Thorne smokes a cigar, but he does enjoy a good fishing expedition.
That's right. That's right.
All I can say is I'm sorry. No, my culture does not fish. We buy fish and we make locks. No, but we don't. We eat. But no, a question. Is tomorrow's meeting virtual or in person?
It'll be it's hybrid. The meeting will be hybrid, and hopefully the board will be in person. The agenda was posted on Friday, and we'll be updating that agenda today by the end of the day.
Okay, and I'll say what Dr. Yannicone can't. Mr. Thorne, don't expect a raise.
I appreciate all the support. Believe me, it doesn't have.
You'll get plenty of that.
There you go.
Hey, Craig, there's that great joke. You know how good it feels to catch a 12-pound fish? Neither do I.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you all. I really appreciate your jumping on early on a Monday morning. And
thank you.
Mr. Needleman, you'll be taking care of the report tomorrow night.
Got it. On it.
Okay. And
Thank you.
We'll see you all tomorrow night.
All right. Have a great day. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.